Sound check. Hamilton Municipal Heritage Committee meeting, sound check. May 28th, 2021. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check one. Sound check one. Sound check one. 1, 2, 3. Sound check one. Sound check one. Sound check one. We are live, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of our Hamilton Municipal Heritage Committee to order. Members of the public are advised that our meetings are webcast live by the City of Hamilton and temporarily archived on the city's website. Before we start into the meeting, I just want to check and see if there are any members who would rather respond verbally to our votes. We may have some call-ins. Seeing none, we will move on to our roll call. So when I call your name, if I can just get you to acknowledge that you're present. Councillor Pearson.
Morning, present.
David Beeland. Janice Brown.
Just
Here.
Present.
Oh, there's David.
Yeah, just
there.
on. Sorry, Alyssa.
Oh, no problem. Glad you were able to connect. That's good. Great. Karen Burke.
Present.
Graham Carroll.
Present.
Charles Dimitri.
Present.
Bill Jansen.
Present.
Lynn Ledstead.
Present.
Robin McKee. We can see you, Robin. We'll let you.
Present.
Present. There you go. Timothy Richey.
Present.
And Will Rosehart. So I don't think Will is on the line just yet. So thank you, everyone. So to start off our meeting, we have some very exciting news. Today we have several new staff members joining us for our meeting. So I'd like to welcome them all, and I'd ask if they could just, if they'd like to introduce themselves. And it's an exciting time to have that additional help in the heritage planning. So maybe we can start with Stacy, if you're ready. Stacy Kursakowski.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Stacy Kursakowski. I'm the new heritage planner for the suburban area. Most recently, my work includes 4 years at the town of Whitby, where I was a heritage planner there. Prior to that, I worked in Fort Hope and have some other experience in the municipal sector as well as the private sector. So I look forward to working with you and exploring the city of Hamilton. Thanks.
Thank you, Stacy. And then next we have Chloe Richey. Chloe, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Chloe Richey, and I will be working in the rural area. So my background, I most recently worked for the city of St. Catharines. I've worked for a couple other municipalities as well, Waterloo and Halton region, and I worked for about a year and a half in the private sector for a heritage consulting firm. I was also really lucky to spend 2 years here in the city of Hamilton living at Balfour House at Stoke Estate. So that's definitely been one of the highlights of my heritage career so far and in life, really. So I look forward to working together. Thank you.
That's great. Welcome, Chloe. And we have Charlie Thomann.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Charlie Thomann. I'm the new senior project manager for the rural team. So I'm replacing June Christie, who is retiring as of the end of the day today. It's very nice to meet the Hamilton Heritage Committee. Bit of background for me: I've recently moved from the city of Regina, where I worked in housing policy, but prior to that, I was the planning staff liaison to the Halton Hills Heritage Committee when I worked there, as well as when I worked in Chatham, Kent. So, I really appreciate all of the work that you do to keep, heritage preservation initiatives going. And yeah.
That's great. Welcome, Charlie. Again, we really appreciate you joining the staff team, and I know Alyssa Golden has been covering for those positions, and want to thank Alyssa for all the help that she's given to us in the last couple of months while we've had that transition, and really looking forward to working with you all in our working groups and in our committee work. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, indeed, Madam Chair. We have under consent items, heritage permit designations delegated approval 7.1I through 7.1K. We have under 7.2 Heritage Permit Review Subcommittee Minutes of April 20th. We have under discussion items 10.1 Inventory and Research Working Group Meeting Notes of April 26. And under item 13, General Information Other Business, we have 13.2 Staff Work Plan as of May 25th, 2021. And I believe there will be another couple of updates under General Information regarding some other heritage-related items.
Sounds good. May I now have a mover and a seconder on the motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Janice and Karen.
Is there anyone opposed to the approval of the agenda as amended? Seeing none, we will move on. That item is carried, and we'll move on to our declarations of interest. Are there any declarations today? Seeing none, we will move on to the approval of our minutes from the previous meeting. So we have before us the minutes from the April 30th, 2021 meeting. May I have a motion to approve the April 30th, 2021 minutes?
I see Tim Richey and I see Lynn Lundstead.
Is there anyone opposed to the approval of the minutes?
Madam Chair, if I may interrupt, I do not see the video for Chuck or for David at the moment. So if they could just voice their opposition or otherwise.
Okay. Is there anyone opposed to this item? None?
I see none. Yep.
That item's carried, and we'll move on to our consent items. So we have consent items 7.1 and 7.2 before us. If there's no discussion, may I have a mover and a seconder to receive these items?
I see Graham Carroll and I see Bill Jansen.
And if there are no questions, we will now vote. Is anyone opposed?
I see none, Madam Chair.
Okay, so that item is carried. Moving on to our 7.1 is our heritage permit designations delegated approvals, and we have before us 7.1A through to 7.1K. Is there any?
Chair, if I
Yes?
may interrupt, we just
Absolutely.
received those.
Oh, oops. Oh, yes, under that I didn't. My apologies.
It's moving rather quickly today.
So we're now on to 10. So our discussion 10 is our inventory and research working group meeting notes of April 26, 2021.
Okay, I'm lost.
Janice, we're at item 10.1.
Okay, thank you. Got it.
You're welcome.
I'm looking at 7.2. Liz was
Wait.
lost. I'm lost.
It's all right.
They were grouped together. So one
I
point.
know. Okay, got it. Thank you.
So now on item 10 is our inventory. 10.1 is our inventory and research working group meeting notes from April 26. So Janice, did you have any discussion in regards to the recommendations that are?
No, I'm just hoping that the Hamilton Municipal Heritage Committee will accept both of these recommendations, actually 3 recommendations from our inventory and research. I can tell you one, 5456 Hess Street South. I was the one that brought that forward, and I've been following it. And my concern is that this could possibly be in danger of demolition because they're the proponents that own that whole block have put forward a type of proposal. I have seen an image that shows a huge tower going up, and all of the Victorian heritage buildings surrounding it are just in front of it, and they are not down. Knowing the area, I find that very difficult to see how that could happen. So I think this is an important, and that building was built in 1858, and it is stone, and it is unique to the city of Hamilton. And I can't speak for Anne. So Karen, I just wondered, you've gone over that. You're very familiar with 215 and 219 King. So is there anything that you would like to say to that?
Well, I have read the report from the Inventory and Research Working Group on 219. The last meeting, we discussed 215 and added it to our list of endangered or buildings that we want to keep an eye on. And so at this meeting, I would propose that I agree with the Inventory and Research Working Group that 219 also has historic interest, character for the area, And so I would propose that that be added as well to our list of buildings we keep an eye on and report back every month.
So the recommendations before us, and we'll just quickly go through those. So the Inventory and Research Working Group recommends that 54 to 56 Hess Street South in Hamilton be added to the staff work plan for heritage designation under the Ontario Heritage Act as a high priority, and for the property to be added to the endangered building and landscape list as an imminent threat. The Inventory and Research Working Group recommends that 215 King Street West in Dundas be added to the Municipal Register and to the staff work plan for heritage designation under the Ontario Heritage Act. And number 3, that Inventory and Research Working Group recommends that 219 King Street West in Dundas be added to the Municipal Heritage Register, see Appendix B for the supporting documents. So those are the 3 recommendations. Is there any further discussion from the group? If not, may I have a mover and a seconder to approve those recommendations of the working group?
I see Karen and I see Lynn.
And we will now vote. Is there anyone opposed?
I see none.
No one opposed, so that item is carried. We now move on to our general information and other business. So at this time, we will discuss our list of buildings and landscapes. Maybe if we can, by show of hands, we can start our speakers list of who would like to provide an update.
Graham, Janice, Tim, David, Robin.
So David was first. David, would you like to give your property updates?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was the last speaker.
Actually, Madam Chair, I have Graham as first.
Graham, yes.
Okay, I want to report on this belong and busy building has got security around it now, which is good to see. Security cameras. They've added they call solar panels to some kind of trailer with batteries, and they got cameras in all corners facing towards the building and the property. So that was very nice to see. Doesn't look like it's being disturbed anymore. So hopefully, when they finish bricking those windows into it for the time being, it'll be very safe. And that's my only one to report.
Okay, thank you, Graham. Next on the list is Janice.
Yes, this is 13.1A, number 7, James Street Baptist Church, 98 James Street South. According to Councillor Farr, he had a brief chat with Luke Wynot, who is the project manager and is part of a company. I forget the name of this company right now, but apparently they have entered into a partnership with Hugh Developments, and it's a huge partnership. It's 50%. Luke is saying he's enthusiastic and he's really interested in moving forward. I am just keeping my fingers crossed. So let's hope that something does get moving. He claims because Hugh is in Vietnam and his development company is here, it will be easier to move forward on site plan applications and anything else that has to go along with development. And same 13.1A, number 16, Television City, 163 Jackson Street West. CH is on the move. As a matter of fact, I think today might have been the last day that they were doing any work out of that building, and they paid a little bit of homage to 163 Pinehurst. And I've never been inside, so I could not appreciate the staircase, but I certainly have seen the outside. I am a bit concerned, and I've passed this on to Alyssa Golden. Because the building will be vacated, I really think this needs to be put on the vacant registry, I'm not sure of that word, list. And not just Pinehurst itself, the mansion, but I would imagine the space tunnel and the rest of the building. If Brad Lamb doesn't come in here and do something, I see graffiti, and I can't imagine what else is going to happen to this huge development bounded by Hunter, Caroline, Jackson, and bordering our social housing complexes on Hess Street South in Jackson. And the good news, Alyssa was in touch with, Golden was in touch with municipal law enforcement, and the vines on the north side of the building are to be removed. The property is looking very sad. It's depressing, as a matter of fact. And at this point in time, I would really like to see Brad Lamb come and do something, but I'm not confident. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Our next speaker is now David. David.
Yes, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, David, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I'm having a little trouble pulling up on my other laptop the agenda here. St. Giles Church, there is a town hall meeting on June the 10th held by the councillor. We'll have to wait and see what happens at that meeting for further information. There was a couple of things on Sinclair Avenue and Sinclair Boulevard. Sinclair Avenue, Alyssa informed me of a contact with the owner there, and everything seems to be straightened away. And there was also a concern put in at 228 by Steve Wiggin on the permit review committee, and so we're waiting to hear back from that. And I think that's all I have to report right now.
Can I have a question?
Oh, yes, Janice?
Yes, David, 228, what is the issue?
The driveway is being expanded, and as far as we know, there's no permit there. It hasn't been put in permanently, but it has been cut back into the lawn.
Thank you.
Alyssa?
Through the chair, I just want to confirm that staff did reach out to the owner of 228. They hadn't started formal work, but they had started digging. So we did inform them of heritage permit requirements, and they did submit an application. It went to the last heritage permit review subcommittee meeting. It isn't for a driveway expansion. It's for the introduction of a walkway from the existing stoop of their stairs to the sidewalk with landscaping on either side. So there will be a buffer between the existing driveway, which is not being expanded, a new landscaping buffer, and the walkway before the grassed portion of the front lawn. So that approval is just in process now, and any issues related to that have already been discussed through permit review.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wasn't aware of that. Fine. Thank you for that information, Alyssa.
Any other updates, David?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And then next we have Robin.
Sorry.
Oh, Janice.
No. All after Robin. I forgot. I'm on 13.1B already. I thought I'm working through the sections. So after Robin, I'd like to come back. Thank you.
Okay. So Robin, you're up.
This is 13.1.A 9, 120 Park Street. Alyssa told me that the bylaw officers are going to go out to take a look at the lack of windows on the second floor. I just noticed and this is for Akmar Gatehouse also on the same lift, that the work review shows that there's for the red zones articles that are on the work projects for designation. I recommend that they move up so that they're the ones that are designated first. And the Akmar Gatehouse is one of them. And the Akmar Gatehouse was supposed to be designated 2 years ago, and it's dropped down for some reason on the work plan.
Alyssa, you had some comment?
Through the chair, I just wanted to clarify the updated staff work plan that's on the agenda today under item 13.2. That's just in alphabetical order by year. So we don't have an order within the year typically, but the way that that particular table is organized is by community and by address, alphabetically or alphanumerically. So that's not an indication that the first one will be done within 2021, just that those are all of the properties currently that have been rolled over from previous years that are currently on as high priorities on the work plan.
Thank you.
Are there any other properties that you wanted to speak to, Robin?
Not at this point.
Okay. Right. So I think next on our list, Karen, you had the property you wanted to add, and then Janice was yours for an additional property as well.
Well, it's interesting. It's just originally when I added my property, sorry, I'm at 13.1B and it's number 1654 Hess Street South. Since I've got 5456 inventory and research, we put that forward. It's been carried here. I just wanted to bring an update about 54, but I guess now we should add 56. And Alyssa did investigate, had MLE, Alyssa Golden did have municipal law enforcement investigate 54, and the building was determined to be secure, and MLE determined that there were no issues with the ceiling that was caving in. So perhaps it should now list 54, 56, since we've got it on the work plan. If somebody could confirm that, either Lorraine or Alyssa Denham-Robinson.
Madam Chair, I will make sure that that the list is amended to include 56.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's it for me.
Okay. And then Karen, would you like to raise your additional property?
Yeah, just the, as I mentioned a little earlier, the 219 King Street West. We'd like to add that to our list. And I have no update on it right now, but just add that to the list. And I do have a further thing as well that I would like to bring up potentially to add to the list. May I do that now?
Yep. Now, if you want to add a property, we can do that now. Absolutely.
Okay. So there's a property. There was a story on HamiltonNews.com about a property in Dundas, which we haven't discussed before. It's 216 Hat Street. So it's directly, for anybody who knows Dundas, it's directly behind the, across the street from the Armories, which is a historic building as well. And there's a number of historic buildings around it. And this was brought to the city of Hamilton to sever the lot. And it was approved by the Committee of Adjustment to sever the lot with the condition that there be a heritage assessment, cultural heritage assessment. And I see that Stacy was quoted in this story. So I wonder if she wants to add any context to this or any updates, and maybe we should discuss whether we should add this to our list as well to watch.
Through you, Madam Chair. Yeah, so that file did come through our inbox as a result of the minor variance and severance application. Upon reviewing the site context, we felt as though it was appropriate to request that a chia be conducted. The building is built circa 1900, as well as in proximity to several other designated properties and within the established historic neighborhood. So we felt as though to ensure transparency and a full understanding of the property, that it would be it would be appropriate to request that the chia be conducted to understand, you know, if there is any significance on the property, as well as review the application that is being brought forward, which is for two fairly modern structures on the site. We're not sure if it's the most appropriate, so we are hoping for them to conduct a full cultural heritage impact assessment to understand the validity behind the property and if there's any warrant for the protection.
So is, through the chair, is the cultural heritage assessment done? It's done by your group, right? As opposed to, it's not done by the owners, is it?
Through you, Madam Chair, it will be done by the owners as a condition of their severance and minor variance applications.
Okay, and then brought to this committee for consideration?
Through you, Madam Chair, that is correct, and Alyssa can as I'm still new, I'm still trying to figure out the
Sorry.
processes, but I believe the policy and
Design group.
design group for their review.
So I had
Okay.
Councillor Pearson wanting to speak, and then Janice.
Sorry, I just wanted to get the address so I could Google it again. I didn't catch it, of that property on Hat.
216 Hat Street.
Okay, so I think I Googled that one right. And maybe if I could go back to staff and ask, Stacy, is this the house, is it not sided and number of changes made to it? Is that correct? Is that the one when I Googled?
Yes, that's correct. With the
Three gables.
three gables up top.
Okay. But there have been changes to it. So alrighty, thank you for that. I just want clarification.
Okay. Janice, you're next.
Yes, I also read the article that Karen is referring to, and this, through the chair, goes back to Stacy, and perhaps when I read it, I could have misinterpreted, but I thought that you had made a comment which I liked, and you said something about to the Committee of Adjustment, if the severance goes forward, and I thought it said before a cultural heritage impact assessment, then a demolition could be a done deal. That was my Did I interpret that incorrectly?
Through you, Madam Chair, the wording of the condition requires them to complete the chia before the approval of the severance. The severance was approved with that condition. It was my thought that having it done, having the application tabled and then brought back once the information was available to the committee members as well as the public, that was my initial request, but it's been put on as a condition.
And as a condition. Okay. I appreciated your comments, by the way. Thank you.
And just to clarify, I would recommend adding this one and the 219 King Street West to the same category as the 215, which I believe is red. Is that correct, Lorraine?
Just give me a moment. 215.
I just,
Yes.
yes.
Bottom of the
Thank you.
page.
Thank you.
Okay, so if I may, Madam Chair, through the chair, ask for clarification. So 216 Hat Street and
And 219
219
King.
King will both
correct.
be added to the red list. Is that correct?
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
and
what I
we
would
will need
propose,
a-
yeah.
Okay, Madam Chair, we will need a motion with a mover and seconder for both.
And do you want to add the change to add 56 Hess as well? All right.
Yes, I have. Sorry, I've already added that in my notes, and that will be amended as well.
Okay, great. So if we could have a mover and a seconder for the addition of those three addresses, 56 Hess, 216 Hat in Dundas, and 219 King. So we have Tim and we have Graham. Okay. Is there anyone opposed to those additions? Okay, so that item is carried. And if I could just have a mover and a seconder to receive the updates, if there's no other updates for the properties. We have Bill, seconded by Karen. Is there anyone opposed? Seeing none, that item is carried. We now move on to our item 13.2, which is the staff work plan of May 25th, 2021. This item is item for information. If staff could just confirm that there'll be some discussion at our next meeting in regards to the work plan.
Good morning, Chair. Through the chair, yes, that's correct. We'll provide an update in terms of some of the more imminent work that we're doing and some of the timing on those designations, and then a look ahead in terms of some of the other designations that we are hoping to initiate this year.
That's great. So we're just receiving the information today, and then we can have more discussion at our next meeting. May I have a mover and a seconder to receive the work plan?
I see David and I see Councillor Pearson.
Is there anyone opposed? Seeing none, that item is carried. We now have a couple of new items to add to our 13 section. So we'll start off as a new 13.2. There's an update that Janice would like to provide in regards to 51 Herkimer.
Yes, through the chair, thank you very much. I did some investigation, obviously, with regard to 51 Herkimer, and as you all know, the Duran, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Duran Neighborhood Association as well on behalf of the Municipal Heritage Committee, because it is truly where this belongs. We were really concerned with the fact, as you know, that a heritage permit was not required for alterations to 51 Herkimer, the manse, and we thought our reasons were pretty succinct, and we certainly had what we thought was evidence. I then contacted a gentleman by the name of Dan Schneider, who I know has been around since 1974-75 when the Ontario Heritage Act was first written, and he was also the policy advisor from 2002 to 2005 when the Ontario Heritage Act was undergoing changes. And he confirmed that he felt that the decision to not move forward with a heritage permit was a misinterpretation of the Ontario Heritage Act as it is written. So I did send through his correspondence to me, and it went to all of the people that the Duran Neighborhood Association originally emailed, and I sent this to Lorraine as well, and I asked her if she could forward it to you so you would have the opportunity to review what Dan Schneider has said. And I think to take this very seriously and to realize, and I was absolutely shocked. I understand that we might be the only municipality that perhaps has had an issue with this. And honestly, this applies to the whole city. It's not just Durand. It just happened that one of our subcommittee members drove by and was shocked at what was going on. So many municipalities are undertaking, and I know new folks that have just come on board, or heritage planners. I know that there is a lot of work to be done, but one of the recommendations that Dan made to me was, he said, to perhaps approach your Hamilton Heritage Municipal Committee and ask them if they could perhaps request that, looking at the old designations dating back to probably I think the first one was 75, Sandyford Place. This one is 1977. And get them up to speed. And apparently there is a shortcut in the way that you can do that. And there is also something in the Act that does not allow for alterations or to lose the heritage value just because the attributes aren't listed in those early designations. So I was very happy to hear that news. And for me, that is truly important, because I'm thinking, why do we bother go on and designate more buildings when we could lose all of the ones that those people coming before us did? And those were early days. I truly understand that. So I would like Lorraine, please, to send this to everybody so that they can at least read it, and then perhaps we can have a discussion on this. I'm not sure where to go from here. So that's one. And then just secondly, doors open. I'm wearing the other hat, Architectural Conservancy, Hamilton Region Branch. We have produced, we've hired some people to produce 3 new videos. And if you haven't seen them, please take the time to view them. One is on Westfield Heritage Village, and I absolutely love it. Chloe, you'll be delighted. It's Belfour Estate, and it is stunning. And the third one that will be coming will be Cotton Factory. We haven't, that one has not been approved by us yet. And the Doors Open virtual is up and running, and you can view it right through until, I think, December 31, 2021. So there's lots of time. Thank you. Those are my updates.
Thank you, Janice. So just going back, the email regarding 51 Herkimer is going to be forwarded to all of the members following the meeting. So Janice, if maybe this is something as inventory and research, or we look at policy and design, one of the working groups should maybe take that on and see if there's a recommendation to bring forward to the committee for the next meeting, unless you want to address something today. But
well, I actually Graham recommended to me that he thought that this probably could go to inventory and research. So Graham, do you want to speak to the comments that? And there were very few comments, but when it came out.
Well, one of our groups should be looking at it. I don't know if it's necessarily inventory and research or go to permit review or policy design, but someone has to make a comment on this, and we have to, as a heritage group, come to a decision, because we're losing heritage features on buildings as we twiddle our thumbs. If the policy, when written at the times, is to preserve the heritage of a building, whether it's specified or not, if the law allows us to protect it, we should protect it and require these permits. It's crazy we're losing heritage features because it doesn't state them in the act. It doesn't state them in the bylaw. That was written before the bylaws required it to be written in there. That wasn't the intent of the bylaw at the time. So pass it to whatever working group you want, and let's just get on with it.
Were there any other comments in regards to that? If not, Janice, I think maybe we start with inventory and research,
Okay.
Because it's so closely involved with the designations and the review of properties, and we can formulate something, and then we can bring in policy and design if we need to. But let's start with inventory and research.
So, do we need a motion, Lorraine?
Staff, pardon me. Yes, please. A mover and seconder, if we could, Madam Chair, to refer the item regarding 51 Herkimer to the inventory and research working group.
And the additional information, if we could add that, Lorraine, from
That's already
Dan
being
Schneider.
done,
Okay,
yes.
that's done. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I can move that.
Okay, and then seconded by Graham, if that's okay. Or, yep. And we'll now do the vote. Is there anyone opposed? Not. Okay, so that item is carried. So we'll get that addressed through the working group and bring it back to a follow-up meeting.
Thank you very much, folks. I really appreciate that. And I know the Durand Neighborhood Association will be happy, as would anybody else who is living in areas where we have all of these designations that date back between 2002 and 1975. That's the number. So, okay, thank you.
Sounds good. Our next item, so 13.3, we had our update on Doors Open Hamilton. Thank you, Janice, for that. And 13.4, just a quick update on our own heritage awards. The upcoming deadline is June 1st for public nominations. So please, again, try to spread the word to anyone that was thinking of nominating a property or a heritage property owner or a volunteer, to ask them to please get their nominations in as quickly as possible by that June 1st deadline. As committee members, the easiest thing to do is, if you have any nominations, to put that into the digital platform and submit it as well. But as a committee, we'll be able to make some nominations after that deadline. But for the public, we're asking for June 1st, and that way we can start as an education and communications working group to start going through that information and distilling down the nominations and future winners. So again, June 1st is that deadline. And then was there some question or comment in regards to that? And then finally, we missed a staff introduction. So if Ohi is still there, Ohi, would you like to introduce yourself?
I believe that Ohi is muted, so he may not actually know that he.
Okay, I think I'm
there
muted
you go.
now.
Ohi.
That's me.
Hello. Well,
Hi,
welcome. I'm
everybody.
sorry we missed you at the beginning.
Yes, yeah. My name is Ohi Israel. I'm the new. I'm still very new. This is my third month in the city. I'm replacing Yvette, who is retired. I'm the new senior project manager for the suburban team. I've actually been to this committee a couple of times. I just sneak in and I listen to the proceedings, and I thank you for your commitment and for commitment to heritage in the city of Hamilton, and I look forward to working with the committee.
Oh, I see Janice is just aching to ask you a question. Oh, before that, welcome. We're glad that you're part of the group
and not putting anybody on the hot seat.
Before Janice jumps in.
I'm just confused. Okay, so I have now met two new people. Ohi, welcome, and the other person, Charlie. But I'm confused as to I know, and I can't remember what Yvette did. I'm sorry, and I don't know who Charlie's taking over. I missed that. So if and it's important because when I email several planners. So do we include all these people in our emails?
So Anita's online, so I think Anita wants to.
Okay, so okay, thank you. I need help, obviously.
Through the chair. So maybe I'm thinking a good idea would be to circulate how we divide our development teams here in the city and perhaps some contact information. So the development teams are divided into three groups. There's an urban team, which generally follows the old City of Hamilton boundaries and includes a little bit of over into Stony Creek. That's led by Shannon Mackay. And the cultural heritage planner on that team is Amber Knowles, who will be starting later on in June. She hasn't joined us just yet. So Ohi is the supervisor of the suburban team, which is sort of everything on the mountain and the other parts of the city that are in the urban area. Yvette Rybinski retired at the end of, oh goodness, I think it was February. I've lost track of time. So Ohi is taken over for Yvette, and Stacy is on the suburban team, so she would be the cultural heritage contact. And then last but not least is the rural team, and that is Charlie. He's the supervisor. Currently, it is June Christie, but she is retiring as of, I guess, 4:30 today. And then Chloe would be the cultural heritage planner. That would be the contact on the rural team. So the rural team is the rural area, but includes Waterdown and Binbrook.
Where does Dundas fall?
That is on the rural team.
Okay, thank you.
So what I'll do is perhaps for the next meeting, we can distribute that. We have a map that shows the boundaries of the teams, and that may provide some assistance to the committee.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. With all the transitions, we definitely need a map.
Sure.
No, that's wonderful. That's great. So before we adjourn for the day, is there any other new business? David, did you have your hand up earlier?
I just wanted to mention those videos for Doors Open. Lance Cole is doing the videos, and what a great job. Westfield is just fascinating, actually. If you haven't seen that one, it's just incredible. And he's also the person who had produced the video for St. Giles. And so he does great work, and it's really worth a look for everybody.
And his team.
And his team, yes.
And his team.
Yes.
He's the voice behind the video, but he's not the videographer.
No.
Graham, I had you next, and then I see Chuck and Tim.
Yeah, just wondering what the standing is on Karen and I joining the permit review.
I believe that's for me to answer, Madam Chair. I think that has already gone through. We've just had a council meeting, so I will need to check my council update, which I haven't had a chance to get to yet, and I will be back in touch with you quickly, although it seems to me that Alyssa Golden might have a better answer than I do right now.
Through the chair, no, I was going to say it hadn't yet gone to council before our last permit review meeting, so it hadn't been formalized yet. But I believe, yes, I've been waiting for the council follow-up, but I believe once that goes through, that you should be on the next round of meetings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Tim?
Yes, it's just for an update on my properties there that we've been watching. A couple of things, actually. The first one's really good news, and we saw it go through, and the last thing is actually the designation of Treble Hall. And it's a real great tribute of a building that was brought back from nothing to now being actually designated. So that's great news on one of our watch properties. Great shout out to former owner Jeff Feswick, and also to the Yoke Properties that has been handling it since. The other property that I've been watching is, I think it's called 134 Cannon, which is the knitting mill. And Alyssa Golden has been working with municipal law enforcement, and that was great advice from Graham Carroll to me to keep on them for that. So with all the graffiti has been painted over, kind of in a garish gray color, but it's painted over, and all the windows have been closed up. As for any more movement on the property aside from film shoots, nothing else, but at least there is the absolute base level of care going on there, which is a huge improvement to the neighborhood. The Rach House, which I'm also watching, it has had new ownership there, and they have been doing some work there. It doesn't look like anything exterior, but quite a bit of interior removal of like cabinetry and that sort of thing was piled up on the lawn. So I'm keeping a further eye on that. I don't know tremendously. I haven't had a chance to check the entire designation of what is covered in that property. There was quite a big CBC article about it, but what is actually protected or not in that property, and whether the owners there know of their responsibilities, the new owners to that property, is still something I don't know. And then at the end, I have some questions. We've seen the Edwin Pass building had a broken window, but I noted that it also has been fixed. I'm not sure who's watching that property or if anyone is, but that was quite a nice quick return on the repair to that property. And then I have a question to Janice about what's the name of the street there? It's the 1 St. James Place. It's the Piggott building. I've seen a lot of exterior work going on there, like digging and excavating around the outside of that property. I was just wondering if Janice had any info on that one still, because I think we've removed it from our list lately.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I understand that they were going through all the right channels and they were requesting permits. So I don't sit on permit review, but I remember coming to a first meeting, and it might have been when I first got onto the Hamilton Municipal Heritage Committee, and we were still meeting live. Secondly, if there were issues, I can tell you the neighbor that lives next door would be on the phone to me, as would Dr. Mark Levine, and the people across the road. So I will make a phone call on behalf of you, Tim, to see, and maybe Chuck can follow up with the permits. I'm not, that, as I said, that's not in my purview.
I know a permit review, there was something with the driveway that was approved, but that was quite a while ago.
And something with the outside venting, because I think there's a basement apartment leading to the walkway. Those are the things I remember. But one thing I can tell you, yes, that driveway is there, but there is always a car parked on the lawn above on the side of the house. And that tells me there are 3 apartments in that building. So that becomes a municipal law enforcement thing, I would think. And as you know, it would have to be the way we operate. It would be reactive. MLE does not do much in the way of proactive. So, but I can check on that.
So just on that topic, Alyssa, did you have an update?
Through the chair, I just was going to say staff are happy to take a look at what's happening on site and just confirm there were 2 permits in the last few years for various works. I'm seeing one for venting, for door replacement, and then there's also some driveway widening and some other landscaping type of work. It sounds like that is most likely in line with that, but staff can certainly take a look and follow up if there's anything that is not covered by those permits.
Graham, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, going by yesterday about 4 o'clock, it looked like it was utility work being done, like underground cables or something being put in on the corner of the property, as opposed to affecting near the house. So it looked like it was some kind of, like they're dragging, like Bell Telephone dragging underwire optics through or something.
They are doing work in the area. That's
Yeah,
right.
right on the corner of the lot.
And Tim, you had another question of staff? No? Okay. Robin?
Just an update on Edwin Pass on John Street.
Madam Chair, if I may interrupt, Robin, can you please put your microphone near your mouth, please? I can
Right,
barely hear
sorry.
you.
Sorry. Edwin Pass on John Street South, the window has been fixed very quickly. And the only other thing is that there is no replacement of the heritage plaque for the building. And hearing today that Treble Hall has gone through with a designation, the plaque should be put on that building ASAP, because it should be part of the designation process.
Alyssa, you wanted to provide comment?
Yeah, through the chair. I think this relates back to the request for our colleague Christopher Redford to come and give an update on the placking and interpretation process. I believe the last time he was at this committee before this term of council, so some of you were here, but not all of you. He did give an update on the designation placking process, and it is now a voluntary process, not automatic for every new designation. So certainly we can reach out to the owners now that the designation has gone through for Treble to see if they are interested in a plaque. But in terms of the funding process and the designation placking process, it's not an automatic now for every new designation. So that's something potentially that Christopher can come and provide an update and clarification on.
Just a question through you, Chair, to Alyssa. What happened to the placking revenue, the budget? If it's going to be voluntarily.
Robin, I think that's something that we had asked Christopher Redford to make a part of his presentation when he was to visit the next time. Unless you have some comments, Alyssa, but I think Christopher was who he had asked to respond to that. Okay. And Lorraine, the invitation has gone out to Christopher. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Janice?
And since we're still all at buildings, this may be, maybe this has already been covered, but I'm looking at 13.1A, and it's the Firth Brothers building on 127 Houston. Notice of intention to designate. I understand that the property has been sold. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And so the designation should go forward.
And the new owner should be informed. I think there's plastic over all of the windows on the side that I can see as I drive along Cannon.
Alyssa, did you have some comments?
Just through the chair, so the designation did go through for that property before it was put up for sale. So certainly that would have been a part of any due diligence in terms of purchasing if it has in fact been sold. We have received some inquiries, but I don't have information to confirm that a sale has actually taken place.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other new items? Bill?
I just want to let the committee know, unfortunately, I'll be leaving you. At the end of June, I'm going to be moving to New Brunswick. Yeah, my son lives there, and we've decided to move there to be close to him and his family. We've been missing them from the last several years, and he's a rotational worker, so he's away from his young children and wife for several weeks at a time, and we're going out to help him. I just want to let the committee know that it's with mixed feelings, because I've really enjoyed working with all of you, and I've really been impressed with the dedication, knowledge, and expertise that you all have to the city, and your contribution to preservation of the heritage
resources in the city. I really liked working with the heritage staff. I think you had great resources to help you, and I hope the new staff provide you with that same expertise. I wanted to give a shout out to Alyssa Golden for her support, being the only one there keeping things afloat, which is terrific. And thanks to our chair, Alyssa, for providing terrific leadership for the committee. So I'll be following from afar, looking at what you're all doing and how things are happening. So I'm not going to give up on what's happening in Hamilton, but I wanted to wish you the best of luck in the future.
Oh, thank you. So whereabouts in New Brunswick?
We're actually moving to Shediac, which is just outside of Moncton, where my son lives. So that's the lobster capital of Canada. So we'll be enjoying some good seafood there.
Oh,
and whale watching.
Yes.
We did whale watching there. It's fabulous. Oh, enjoy.
Thank you.
For sure.
Bill, we're going to miss you on the committee. We really, we were lucky to have you as part of the committee and the expertise and knowledge that you've brought to it and helping with our working group for policy and design. We really do appreciate all the effort and hard work that you've put into being a part of this, and we're going to miss you. So we wish you best of luck, and I think everybody wants to make sure that you know that we'll be thinking of you and enjoy and have a safe trip out there. So.
And if there's ever any extra lobster, you know where we are. All the best, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And send us an email to say all is good and you're enjoying the good life.
In the virtual.
Hey, remember, you got to sneak in late at night right now with the big bubble. Lights off, very slow. Let's go. Good luck, Bill.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure. I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
Are there any other new items? If not, we have Graham.
With the knowledge of the Firth brothers being sold, I guess we should add that to our watch list as well now too.
I think it's on already.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I withdraw it then.
Okay.
I didn't think it was.
That's how I knew about the new owners. Yep. It's under 13.1A, number 13.
Perfect. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
So with the new items under 13 that we've talked about, the updates, doors open, our heritage awards, updates to properties, if we could have a motion to receive all of those additions to our agenda that we spoke to today. I see Councillor Pearson and David. Are there anyone opposed to those additions? If not, that item is carried. And we now come to the end of our agenda. So may I have a mover and a seconder for adjournment?
I see Tim.
Well, everybody's going to put their hands up.
I see Bill Johnson.
All right. Anyone opposed?
Excuse me.
Seeing none, that is the end of our meeting. We'll adjourn today.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you. Good
Have a
meeting.
great
Weekend.
Yes, it's going to get warmer.
And we'll see everyone in June. Take care.
Alicia.